Things are gonna start changing around here.
King, there's a difference between a boot to the face and a pump kick. A boot to the face is a simple guy who comes running at you and put the boot up, bam, down he goes. Pump kick is when you actually run toward the guy and you do a jumping little kick and knock the guy down. Big difference, King. Start paying attention, phony.
Peace out.
Hey phonies, Crazy Pretzel here, and this is gonna be two things today. One is a video response to Bobby Black's Smackdown review, basically my thoughts of the show, and then the other one I'm gonna talk about TNA a little bit. So, first let's address Mr. Bobby Black's Smackdown review. I pretty much agree with everything he said about the show. I know that sounds kind of strange, because me and him don't quite see it eye to eye, or sunglasses to eye, but I pretty much agree with them. I enjoyed Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. I thought their match was good, but I thought the match didn't really have a street fight feel to it. I also felt it should have been the main event of the show, but it didn't have a street fight feel to it for me, because I felt that they should have had more weapons involved in it instead of just Cody Rhodes' mask. I mean, you could brawl on the outside of the ring, that's fine, but have a couple more weapons in it. That's just my little complaint about it. I enjoyed Sheamus and Wade Barrett's match. I thought that was good. We might actually finally get to see a feud between these two guys, so that could be exciting. But yeah, the rest of the show was pretty crappy in my opinion. I mean, they booked the Mark Henry Big Show thing fine. It was nice to see Henry actually look strong against Bryan and Big Show. But the rest of the show was crap. The Divas matchup was a piece of shit. It was, you were being really nice, Bobby, with your 2 out of 5. I would have given that a half point out of 5. That match, what did it last? A minute long? And then it was Fox just wins with some random effed up somersault leg drop maneuver. I mean, it makes no sense. I don't understand why, Gail Kim pretty much said in an interview, it's WWE doesn't know what they want to do with their divas. It's they're supposed to be wrestling, but they're not allowed to wrestle. They're not allowed to do certain things or something. So, why are they even involved? It's a complete, disgrace to women's wrestling. Take TNA this week. They had Tara and Tessmacher, TNT, versus Gail Kim and Madison Rayne for the tag team titles. And this match was pretty good, I thought. And the women actually got some time to wrestle in the match. And they actually have storylines going with, Karen and Jarrett basically only liking, 2 of the knockouts and just completely hating the rest of the division and pissing on them. Granted, it doesn't make any sense because, Sting's a good guy in charge and somehow he's overlooking the fact that, this scumbag of Immortal is still has some power over, people in the company that they technically work for him. So it's kind of weird that they kind of ignore that, but anyway, besides that, there is an actual storyline, in this company. So, props to TNA for actually having a decent women's division, and they're actually doing something with it. I don't know what WWE's problem is. And then another thing I hated about the show was, I agree, it was probably the Sin Cara Epico match. The match started off kind of interesting. I was like, oh, Epico had some nice moves, and then it just randomly ended with the, DQ and a beatdown or whatever. And yeah, I agree with you. Hunico looks like Hernandez from LAX or whatever. So it doesn't make any sense. It's almost kind of whenever WWE gets a non-masked Mexican star, they have to be thuggish or something like that. I guess TNA could be guilty of this too, but you ever notice that whenever they don't have a mask on, a lot of the times it's Hispanic Mexican stars always look like they have to be thugs or something like that. I actually work with some Mexicans at my job, and they're pretty nice people. They're pretty funny. They're yes, they live in America, so they know some of our culture and whatnot, and they have a little bit of American stuff to it. But I'm just saying though, not every Hispanic in the world is a thug. So why doesn't wrestling acknowledge that there's actually some good Hispanic and Mexican people out there instead of these thugs that are everywhere. You know? What the fuck's up with that? And, I don't know, was there anything else bad about SmackDown? I don't think so. I think that was it. So, moving on to TNA, and a lot of people don't like the whole, booking of the James Storm, Robert Roode match, how Storm was champion for such a short time. I'm kind of 50-50 with it. I think, Roode, winning the belt's kind of cool, but I felt that James Storm was, actually kind of a cool champion. I thought his promos were pretty good, and, he's definitely, good in the ring. I feel like James Storm is actually, a lot better wrestler than Bobby Roode is. I mean, no offense, but it's yeah, even though James Storm's kind of he steals a lot of people's moves, like Carlito's backstabber and Shawn Michaels' super kick. There's probably another move he stole, but I feel like he's a better in-ring performer than Robert Roode because at least he has some finishing moves. What is Robert Roode's finishing move? The Crippler Crossface. You know what I mean? It's I don't feel like that's a finishing move. The Perfect Plex. Mr. Perfect made that famous. I just kind of feel like James Storm is more I think he's better in the ring, and I think he's better on the mic too, to be honest with you. I'd have kept him as champion. So, another thing I don't get with TNA is why are they having one of their higher feuds is Eric Bischoff's son versus Eric Bischoff. Both these guys aren't wrestling. For a company that says Impact Wrestling, we are wrestling, these are two guys that aren't wrestlers. That doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like having a competition between Coke and Pepsi against who's going to be the better cola, and you throw in Sprite. Sprite's not even a cola, so what the fuck's it doing there? You know what I mean? It makes no sense why they're doing this storyline. I don't even know, I could understand, why they're doing, they're kind of doing, the Velvet Sky, Karen Jarrett storyline. I think that could potentially lead to a match, which could be entertaining, but I mean, it's nobody cares about Bischoff's son. Nobody cares about Bischoff, wrestling perspective-wise. So, why have them have a match? It makes no sense. And what else happened on Impact? Anyway, that's my thoughts. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Oh, and watch this Pennsylvania Bowling Association video. It's great.